I'm going to use this, and I hope that it'll make my talk fast. It's only 3 pages. Hello and welcome, commanders, Marines, friends, family, girls. It's good to have you here. Thanks for you who have traveled a little bit, Larry. Appreciate that. And for all of you who skipped work to come out in the sun today, I'm grateful for that. All right, we're calling this a military retirement today, but I'm going to call it an official relief from duties because I do not plan to take up golf full time or start fishing anytime in the near future. I will talk briefly, that's my plan, and I think what I want to offer as a beginning to my talk is just a report or an assessment on what I've learned about the military and the Marine Corps in particular. All right, for you Marines out there, obviously I'm not telling you what you don't know, but perhaps it'll be an affirmation and make you feel good. So, what does our military do? Okay, nobody with uniforms should answer, nobody can answer. Basically, the military is here to win. Okay, the Marine Corps and our American military, its mission is to accomplish any task assigned to it. Okay, we commonly think of combat operations and wars, but military missions often involve such things as disaster relief, non-combat evacuations, or conducting important exercises with allied nations. Okay, when we're not doing that, we're just training and being ready for any assignment. So, bottom line, is the military any good? My estimate is this is a very strong military. Okay, we have weapons and equipment that are unequaled in any other nation around the world. And they can't match our capabilities. And they definitely do not have systems for employing these weapons that are nearly as effective as our way of doing things. I've seen this firsthand, obviously. I've had the thrill of shooting the guns, dropping the bombs, flying, zooming around the sky, and doing such things. So I know that it's a capable force and it's capable equipment that we have. We can also employ these tools of the military at vast distances from our home with good reliability. And these obvious and tangible examples of our strength are often eclipsed things we don't see and the things that we take advantage of or take for granted. Just one example, just consider the things that we get in America that are imported to us. Things like heavy equipment, cars, smartphones, fuel, clothing. A lot of these things come from the Middle East and Asia. And one example of our military strength and what that does for us is the fact that comes to us. And one of the ways that happens is these military exercises that I've had a chance to participate in and the men in the audience have had a chance to participate in. Things like Cobra Gold in Thailand, or Key Resolve in Korea. These exercises, when the United States participates in them, it legitimizes what those nations are doing, provides security and stability in those regions, and allows commerce to flourish. And we get those things that I just mentioned, like cars and our smartphones and other things. These types of exercises take place all around the world. Down in Australia, Europe, Africa, and in the Middle East. And because of American military participation, the world is a safer place. Here's another assessment of the military. The military is good at taking care of its own, from fuel and supplies and weapons that are delivered to us in our expeditionary sites, to the pay and the medical care and the housing that our families receive back here. The military faithfully takes care of its own. And believe it or not, one good example of that is I had the good fortune of having Baskin-Robbins ice cream every day at the Chow Hall when I was deployed to Afghanistan. Just one example of how the military takes care of us. All right, but the military is not a comfortable government job. Okay, military members must compete to stay active. If we don't get promoted, we can't stay in the military. And that prevents military members from stagnating, forces us to become better at what we do. So, I say all that because civilians in the audience probably know this. The military guys definitely do, but I just wanted to affirm that. And I also wanted to caution anyone in the audience, to be very critical of anyone who asserts that our military is broken and has to be fixed. I don't believe that it does. So, how did I get started in the military? You've already heard some of my accomplishments and some of the things I've done. When I started in the military, it was 1992. I was in high school and I signed up a year before I actually left. In the early 90s, if you can remember, Seattle grunge music was firmly established and on the radios. People rarely had cell phones. I have more hair than I do now. You communicated not via email, but by regular mail with envelopes and stamps. And there was no Netflix, there was Blockbuster video, DVDs, VHSs. So that was my view of the world, and I had my, I'm not sure I had my facts completely straight, but I signed up, and the Marine Corps, from my perspective, had enough hurdles and barriers to entry that it seemed like a worthy rite of passage for me. By signing up, somehow I would prove something to somebody that I was tough or strong or something like this. Things obviously changed. But in 1993, this career began, and on August 23rd, my parents, my brother and sister got into the car. We left our hometown of Wingdale to drive out to the recruiters in Poughkeepsie, where I'd be dropped off and delivered to boot camp. Before I left them, we had one last meal in Poughkeepsie at KFC. The food today commemorates that last meal I had with my parents. I hope you enjoy it. All right, of course, boot camp was hard. It was a culture shock, and it took some serious coping. My whole first year was kind of tough, as it is for most folks. I wrote a lot of letters home, made a lot of phone calls, and I slowly learned that the boot camp is not the Marine Corps. And there were actually Marines who were real people with whom I could relate. Okay, some folks who are not here were really important to me in my first period in the Marine Corps. Guys like Mike Soros from Racine, Wisconsin, who's a crewman and mechanic on helicopters with me. A colorful, interesting character named Melchor Barrientos, a great guy from Florida. He's a Mexican-American, and he was known to have a bad temper. He'd often throw parts of the 46 off the forward sconson there when he was angry and couldn't get certain parts off. He's a great guy. More personable characters like Joe Miller. He's a good role model to me, and he's also friendly. He's one of my first sergeants. Good friend Jim Hardiker, fast-talking, persuasive fellow. Became friends, and then Charles Crappy, who you may know, brought a lot of levity to my experiences as a mechanic in the helicopter world. In '96, I met Carolyn. Carolyn did a lot of good things for me. It's probably the best thing that could ever have happened, me and Carolyn. We got married pretty fast. One of the early Marine Corps experiences was when you made me sign up for MESA to go to college. That was more than just paperwork, it was a ceremony. We stood together, very much like this, in front of a helicopter once. That was a good time. But I got that college education, and I got to live out many of the dreams I had as a boy. Got to fly jets, like the one back there. Got to fly a helicopter as a crewman, like the one back there. And one airplane that I got to fly that's not in the museum yet, the Osprey. I got to fly up until these days today. The dreams are definitely fun to realize, but the Marine Corps is not known for being a lot of fun all the time. The Marine Corps is known as being very rigorous and challenging and demanding. So I experienced a lot of those demands, traveled a lot, trained a lot, worked very hard. As a commissioned officer, I worked with a lot of other good folks. Peg Boy in the back, sir, it was great to have you fly with me and keep me safe out in Japan. Going a lot faster than I should have been in the aircraft. Other folks, Jerome, Pampers, all of you, I could say all your names, but some of the flights we've had have been amazing. Whether it's been across America and back, testing fancy electronic gizmos to talk to each other, or landing in brownout zones in faraway countries like you, Bear. Thank you for saving my life at least one time when we were in Afghanistan with 365. Other folks like Hugh Wingate, Ben Reed, Topper Wright, if you're out there. You guys are great pilots, great aviators, and Marines who I'm proud to have been friends with. Dr. Chang, medical professional out there, pleasure to serve with you. It's been a pleasure to serve with all of you. So, what's going to happen now? It's not a retirement, like I said, it's a relief from duties. Well, I'm not entirely sure what's coming up next. I will get a job, as I said. I've got a lot of ideas, a lot of aspirations in business. And all of the 5 women in this front row are integral to all of those aspirations that I have. I look forward to moving. I look forward to the challenges and adventures coming up. And the growth that will come. I'm looking forward to being together. So I'll start the closing. Thank you all for supporting me. Thank you for leading and teaching and being my friend for these last 5 or 6 years and beyond, for those of you who have known me longer. Carolyn, there are no words to express my gratitude for you. I thank God you're in my life. Girls, you're an excellent group of children. I'm very proud of you. We're moving again, but we'll be together. Some things are going to be different, but very much be the same. I'll probably still make you do your chores. But I pray that God will bless our future endeavors. We're going to keep in touch with our friends here and our friends around the country. I look forward to the growth for us and for you as you become young adults and for what lies beyond for you all. Thanks everybody for being here today. Please stay in touch. I'm on Facebook and all the other social networks, and I have a cell phone the number of which will not change. So let's get to that KFC. We'll talk more, and if I don't get to talk to you now, we'll talk in the future. Semper Fidelis.